What's up, y'all? I'm back. I've been gone for a minute. Handling business, taking care of stuff as usual. But today I was going to talk about the video between Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla, and I think this is very important because you'll kind of see how I relate these two characters to something that's ongoing in history, uh, throughout history, and I particularly chose these two people because they're a great dynamic to really compare what I'm trying to get across here between ego and spirit. And this is a continued thing that's going on throughout history if we pay attention. So if you know Thomas Edison, he is known for the DC, which is the direct charge, and then you have Nikola Tesla. He's known for AC, which is alternative charge, and these are electricity streams. At their time, they were both famously known, and they were known for trying to be innovators. And in the time, it was a big war between these two guys because Thomas Edison was very much like a businessman, and he was very obsessed with his personal legacy. Nikola Tesla was, I would consider, like a natural genius. The main difference between these two guys is that Thomas Edison, I would say, had a good team. So a lot of his inventions throughout his lifetime and life period, he wasn't directly responsible for. It was more so the team and him employing people, very knowledgeable people around him to create his legacy. While Nikola Tesla was very much a standalone genius, and I would say he was connected to some higher truths, higher ideas, and he was really humanity based and attempting to move humanity forward. So these two comparisons I'll get into more as this video goes on. But I'll put it this way: at one point, Thomas Edison was somebody I was very inspired by I before I got more in tune with the spiritual part of my life. Thomas Edison was somebody who was largely responsible for even really getting me started on the journey. So it's kind of ironic that I'm making this video now, discussing this and using him as the archetype for demon charge, and using Nikola Tesla for archetype of the angel charge. And I was inspired by Thomas Edison mainly because his story, inventor of the light bulb. It's you probably know the famous storyline where when he decided to create the light bulb. You just got to think like somebody in the time period saying, "I'm going to create a light bulb and I'm going to light up the world, and everybody's going to have light in their home. People are going to come home and have electricity running through their home, and everybody." And you got to think how crazy a person like this is sounding in the time period where people are walking around with lanterns and the light source comes from fire, and there's no electricity or anything like that. And this guy is just like, every home is gonna have light and electricity, and they're gonna this sounds like a like a crazy person. So he went off to set up to create the light bulb. He failed many times, and imagine being in a time period where you can see something that no one else can see, and you're trying to bring it to light, and you're failing, and everybody's like, "Oh man, you're crazy, dude. You just stop." And he goes 100 times and fails, and it's like, "Bro, 100 times, man, you still failing, no light bulb." He was so persistent that he attempted this approximately 5,000 times before he was actually successful in creating a light bulb. So you have to be very driven on some level to where the whole world is calling you crazy. but you stick to your guns and create what you can see in your head. So when I call Thomas Edison demon charged, this is just me using him as an archetype, because at some point I think that level of craziness, you have to be connected to something higher. You have to be connected to something higher and powerful to trust that it's possible. So whatever he was seeing in his head was so vivid that he didn't care if the whole world was against him. He was going to create it. So I look at it at one point, Thomas Edison was very much connected to the spirit, or could also be that his self-ambition and ego was a strong driving factor. But sometimes God can use that also. You know, he can use that. He can plant an idea in your head very vividly, knowing that you have this level of ego and self-ambition, and to be number one or whatever, and so he created that. So at one point, I definitely respected Thomas Edison and his plight towards success, you know. And then we have Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla, like I said, was somebody I later learned to have a high level of respect for. I really consider this man a standalone genius. He was coming up with ideas that were years, probably even centuries ahead of his time, and I would say he was connected to the divine spirit, you know. And at the time, like, you know, technology and things of this nature are just getting started, you know. But this guy was a true inventor, and I look at him as a person that didn't invent out of a space of ego. It was like he was inventing things to, like, literally move humanity forward at such a fast rate. But I say he was disenfranchised because Thomas Edison, later in his career, after he's well known and stuff like that, became very egotistical, and it became purely about business for him. And it didn't become it wasn't. I don't think he was concerned with humanity. It became something that he was concerned about his personal legacy and leaving his mark. And that's okay. But when that becomes the priority over actually providing humanity things that could advance us and move us in a right direction more quickly, then you are serving a different master. So I just feel like Thomas Edison became someone who was operating from a space of ego and serving a different master. And it happens. You know, you get your taste of fame, you get your taste of success, and then there's somebody who comes in who is actually more intelligent than you, and does it with possible ease, because he's doing it from a different place. He's coming from a different place. Nikola Tesla was not much of an egotistical person. He was more of a true artist, like you would consider today's artist. You know, like let's compare it to like artists of today. You got I heard somebody mention this. Like you got Jay-Z. He's an artist, of course, and then you got Kayne West. He's an artist. I truly believe Kanye loves the art form, loves it. He loves the art form. And I look at Jay-Z as a person who doesn't love the art form as much, but is good at it. But what he loves more is the money and the accolades. So a person who really loves the art is always going to be more valuable. And as you can see, Jay-Z needed Kanye to produce a lot of his best-selling albums, you know. So like at the end of the day, and even a egotistical creator or artist or inventor uh, can look at somebody and see somebody who has a level of passion and love for the art that they're doing on a different level than themselves, and either utilize them or become enemies with them. And of course, Jay-Z was smart and, uniting with Kanye when it benefited him. But you can clearly see that, like, from a space of ego, you know, what his motive is, and what he's truly driven by, And these two characters here that I'm talking about, Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla, they're a representation of everything that's going on in our society, like between ego and spirit, like, you can see these in dynamics like right now between LeBron and Kyrie. LeBron is overall a good picture of what a great NBA player, but Kyrie is actually a good, a great, not only a good player, but great in character. Great in character, and stands on some principles. So I would consider him like a Tesla, and I would consider LeBron like an Edison. I would consider Kanye like a Tesla, and I would consider Jay-Z an Edison. And these dynamics are popping up all through our history. It's always this war between people of the ego and people of the spirit. People who are divinely sent here to bring some realistic change and evolution in humanity, and those who are sent here just with their sole purpose being to be seen, be heard, and be praised. So, and more so than relating Kanye right now to like Jay-Z, I would at this point I would start relating Kanye to P Diddy, because of where they are as on a more business and mogul level situation. And you can see what's happening right now in the media between these two guys. Kanye lost billions of dollars, and now who's popping up talking like they're the next black billionaire? You got Diddy popping up and like this. So like, honestly, you can see what's going on. And do you think Diddy cares about humanity at all? Do you think Diddy cares about humanity at all? And he can fool somebody and talk about love and all of this, but love is an action, brother. Love ain't just a word, homie. So like this dynamic between Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla is always showing its face in our society. The war between ego and truth. And the thing is, ego will sometime win short term because you will see these people in the forefront, but truth will always prevail. Truth will always prevail in a society that's evolving, even if the people are trying to halt and disenfranchise those who are capable of evolving the society. So truth will show its face. And if you look at the artwork that I did for this video, I think in there it says Edison is dead, but Tesla lives on. Yeah, Edison died. Tesla didn't very much die. You have a multi-billion-dollar company right now named after him. So the truth will always find its way to show itself. And what better way than create a company that is responsible for the electric car now represents the name of one of the greatest inventors in our history, So Tesla lives on. Tesla lives on. His name, like, think about the years to come with the vehicle, and his name being a representation of electric vehicle and cars to come over the course of next 30 years. He's very prominent and very still much alive. And people will dig into his legacy. And he may not have got all the same accolades and praise as Edison at that time, but the truth has prevailed, and like it always does, it always shows its face in a space where lies exist. And currently our culture is somewhat like that. You know, like it's this battle between the lies and the truth becoming available, but the truth will always win. So I'm pretty sure you can find more relations between like this whole concept of Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla in other people, you know, in other people. And when I look at the world, I kind of look at who's the Edison and who's the Tesla. Whose highest priority is moving humanity forward, and whose highest priority is just being seen and praised as the one. Because it's just like, it's this real deal about who's really the chosen, who's not. The chosen, the real chosen, and never talk about being chosen. That's the Tesla. The fake chosen is, I'm the chosen one, I'm the chosen one, I'm the chosen one. And they got to get up on a stage and tell the whole world that they're the chosen one, but the real chosen one is just working to push humanity forward. So, with that said, I'm out.